Footage Radio!
Today we're going to be talking about bacon, and we've also got an interview with Anti-Flag drummer Pat Thedek.
Unborn of hay, murdered by the ton, an army of hay conquers the nationhood. It would seem to be that our history was tough to us how the West was won. Onto the wagon and on the trail, killed everything in sight and sent them all to hell. Never showed no remorse and never shed a tear, or rewrite the history of who the hell was here. They provide an offering and give to the man a piece of the pie for taking all his land. A million in bloodshed, a million in death. I try to forget what happened, but so much present. A tomahawk sprays for bloodshed and mayhem. What they do, no damage to me. A tomahawk can be deadly in hands of any man, but they also stand for peace. Takes a strong man to use a tomahawk against me. Takes a wise man to use a tomahawk, not for peace. Take a many man to use a tomahawk on me. Takes a blind man to use a tomahawk just for peace. And this is the many every slave, a personal conquest and a represented cave. Have we been told lies? The fact that was a prize, tomahawk, opposition was a rise, yeah. Tomahawk is much more than a tool used by a so damn many fools. It's like the choice we have in sight. And use a tomahawk for wrong or right. A tomahawk is much more than a tool used by a so damn many fools. It's like the choice we have in sight. To use a tomahawk, to use a tomahawk. Tomahawk sprays for bloodshed and mayhem. A tomahawk can be deadly in hands of any man. Tomahawk, sprays for bloodshed and mayhem around me. I don't care if I get slain. A tomahawk is dead. A tomahawk is dead today.
It's Punk Rock Foodies Radio, your one-stop shop for everything punk rock, food, and that's pretty much it. With Xander T, Kevin Wells, Steve Guerrero, Brian Reinhart, Skate Rat Betty, and now, here's your host, Kevin Wells.
Welcome to another great episode of Punk Rock Foodies Radio. That was Poor Habit with Tomahawk.
And you are Kevin Wells, and who else do we have with us today?
What up, everybody? That's Skate Rat Betty. I was just stepping on her toes. Sorry, guys.
I feel like maybe we should get an order.
Yeah, let's try that again.
All right, let's start it over. It's going to be me, Steve, Skate Rat, then Xander. Welcome to another great episode of Punk Rock Foodies Radio. My name is Kevin Wells, and that was Poor Habit with Tomahawk.
There you go. What's up, everybody? This is Steve Guerrero here with the Punk Rock Foodie crew.
Yo, it's Skate Rat Betty.
Hey, and I'm Xander T, the asshole in charge of Punk Rock Foodies. Punk Rock Foodies is a Facebook group, 3,000 members and counting. Come on and join us. We like to see pictures of the food you're making, food you're about to eat, and we like to talk and bust each other's balls. Just don't try to sell anything and pimp your shit. Today we got a really great show, and but before we get into our discussion, let's listen to a little bit more punk rock music. We've got John by 10 Foot Pole on Punk Rock Foodies Radio.
John takes a seat so he can wind his watch. Not working anymore, but it's so good to touch. It's the only solid evidence of what he's done and seen. It helps him to remember his past life was not a dream. Used to tell the time when he was young, but time means nothing now. He has a clear view of the sun. atomic. Black poultry sway, the whisper to the purple sky. Close your eyes and feel the ghosts of Hollywood gone by. Still the dream has come, still the dreams are left to die. Behind the lights and the properless lies. We're speeding through the city tonight. We'll hit this town just like a bomb. For this one moment, the world is ours. And still we're waiting for the atomic.
That was Atomic by Tiger Army, and this is Skate Rap Betty. So the other day I was making burgers, and we made actually like a little burger buffet bar where I had all the toppings laid out, and you know I pretty much just made basic burgers this time, and you could put whatever you wanted on them. I think my husband's was like 8 inches high, but one of the main staples that I have without having to ask anybody what do you eat or don't eat or whatever was bacon. You know, I don't care if you eat it or don't eat it. If you come to my house, chances are it's probably on the menu. So it's not something that I eat every day, but it is a nice meal by itself. It is a nice finishing touch. It is a nice base for, you know, soups, sandwiches, salads, tacos, burritos. What else? I know I'm forgetting all the things.
It makes everything. It's like, to me, bacon's like the word fuck. Fuck makes everything better. If you say, I feel bad, yeah, okay. But if you say, I fucking feel bad, like, oh shit, he feels bad. And bacon just kind of makes everything better. I don't think there's any. Maybe you don't want to put bacon in your cereal, but maple bacon cereal might actually taste pretty good. Maple bacon oats.
Sounds like I'm trying something.
Bacon should always be followed by an exclamation mark, like bacon. You know, it's just that good.
Like the dog in the bacon strips commercial.
Bacon.
Bacon, bacon, bacon!
I have a bacon seasoning flakes, like one of those steak seasoning shaker things, a little grinder, and I sneak that sucker in on almost all the things. Yeah, like when I'm doing meats and stuff, anything I'm putting on the grill, just about I put a little dash.
Does it taste like regular bacon?
It does. It's almost like not bacon by itself, but bacon if you were to like dip your bacon in syrup.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Like a maple bacon.
I don't know. That's just like.
All right.
Maybe. Yeah. But.
That just seems.
It is.
I don't know. That's. I mean, I'll take your word for it. I mean, putting bacon on anything, wrap a steak in bacon and grill it. Wrap a shrimp in bacon, scallops in bacon. Adding that bacon just definitely adds another level, if you will.
Yeah. At Punk Rock Foodie Fest, Sausage Fest, I remember my wife made the little smokies wrapped in bacon, and she cooked them in the pressure cooker with like a Jim Beam barbecue sauce. So they were the whiskey dips, and those were awesome. those came out so good. But yeah, just another testimony to the power of bacon.
It's funny, actually. I used to hate bacon as a kid. I couldn't stand it. I don't know what it was. I think it was because all that, like the fat, maybe the way my mom cooked it, and it was like that. I just saw that fat, and it was like, this just looks disgusting. And one time I was sleeping over a friend's house, and his mom was making bacon, and I could smell it. And I was like, man, that really smells good. And so I ended up eating like half of the bacon. I was like, this is so fucking good. Like, what have I been doing to myself for so many years? I need to make up for it right away. And I may have actually.
When my kid first had bacon, he's really picky, and when he first had bacon, he just put it in his mouth and just had the most pure smile of happiness that you could ever see. He just discovered, like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. Like, I've seen that smile twice from him. One was with filet mignon, and the other was with bacon. And that's how you know, like, it's not hype. That's not a hyped up love of bacon. Like, that's pure. Holy shit, this is awesome.
I remember I was telling my daughter about, she had water chestnuts in some Chinese food. She's like, what are these? I said, they're water chestnuts. So I make this great appetizer. You take the water chestnut and you mix some brown sugar in it, then you wrap it in bacon and you skewer it, and then you bake it in the oven until the bacon gets nice and crispy and it's really good, and it's got that sweet of the brown sugar, and she just holds her hand up and says, Dad, you had me at bacon. All right.
I'm not a big water chestnut fan.
To each his own.
It's good stuff.
It's more for me.
But spinach dip would be better if you substituted bacon for the water chestnuts.
It's water chestnuts and spinach dip? I don't know.
Thought that was artichoke.
Oh, really? Oh, the one my mom always made has little sliced water chestnuts for crunch.
Oh, right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Never heard of that.
No, don't do it. I'm not advising you to do it. I'm saying substitute that for bacon. This is going.
I'm going to do it and not invite your ass over. How about that?
This conversation's going the wrong way.
But, yes, back to bacon.
I think half the reason my husband got excited about cooking with me was bacon. I made a few meatloafs, and he was like, well, what if we added bacon? And I was like, I don't have a problem with that idea. So he started making these, those little lattices or the weaves. Yeah, so you have like a little placemat of bacon. And then, one day I was at work, and one of the chefs made me, what was it? It was a hot dog wrapped in hamburger wrapped in bacon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I think he fried it for a little bit and then grilled it for a little bit. And it was awesome.
That's good, because you can make it pretty medium rare, because you don't really have to cook the hot dog much.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and the
But
bacon,
that bacon
was just
takes
a
a
finishing
while,
touch
though.
on the outside. Yeah, but I think they had, when he did it, it was over a flame that he had. It's not like a burner, so.
You start the bacon first, and then wrap it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done the lattice work, and I've actually baked it in the oven, laid over top of a pottery, and put another bowl on top of it, so when it came out it was bowl shaped. And then I put in lettuce, and I made a tomato vinaigrette, so it was like a BLT salad. Of course, it's a whole pound of fucking bacon, so it cancels out the health benefit.
It's a healthy salad, bro. Healthy
Absolutely. Eat the bowl and everything. The wrapping stuff I did, the one summer for my girls, we did the maple sausage, the like chubs you can buy in like the meat department, and we stuck Smokies in them to look like a turtle and wrapped that in bacon. And then I've seen it with hot dogs and hamburger meat, but we just did little ones, pan fried them up real quick, and then put them in the oven to bake that sausage all the way through, and they were fucking good, especially when you had the maple flavored sausage. Oh, I mean, that was just pork on pork on pork.
I got those maple sausages on accident one time. Pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, you could smell the maple through the packaging.
The other day I was trying to make a burrito, and too late I realized I didn't have any tortillas, so I put like the chopped up smoked sausage that I grilled on a hot dog bun, and I made like a breakfast dog. And dude, the first thing I thought was get maple sausage, get maple bacon, wrap that up, and make the ultimate breakfast dog. So that's coming up here soon.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that on Punk Rock Foodies. That looked good.
Get those sausages that have the cheese already injected into them.
Oh, those are super good.
Like Italian sausage with cheese already baked in or shoved into the middle. Take that, wrap it in bacon.
Yeah.
Well, that's like
Take that.
That's like the bacon bombs. Like Brian's done the bacon bombs before with the sausage, like with the lattice bacon and the sausage. Well, he could tell us about that, Brian.
The bacon bomb, or as my friends and I call it, the bacon explosion, holds a special place in my heart. About 4 years ago, I want to say, some buddies of mine went to a Christmas party, and this guy and his wife showed up, they had made 3 of them. I'd never heard of them before. He had one that was filled with, and for those who don't know, it's just weaved bacon in a mat, and then a layer of ground Italian sausage, and then whatever you want to put in the middle. Usually it's bacon, onions, things like that, and you roll it up into a football covered in barbecue sauce, and you bake it. Easy peasy. So anyway, this guy and his wife show up, and they had 3 of them. One of them was filled with holiday foods. It was filled with ham and turkey and mashed potatoes and carrots and onions, all this good stuff, and rolled up with the bacon and the sausage. There was another one filled with cranberry sauce, which sounds weird, but it was fucking delicious. They covered it with this sweet barbecue sauce. And then the other one was just filled with, they'd cooked some bacon and chopped it up and just put it inside. So it was bacon filled with bacon. And then you slice them horizontally, and you have, it's essentially an appetizer. So we'd never heard of them. We just spent the whole party just asking them questions like, where'd you get this idea? How'd you make it? He's like, dude, you have Google, just Google it. So we did. We've been making them for years. I made one time with, I got a bunch of really good fried chicken from a local joint, deboned the chicken, kept the skin and the meat, put it in there, and wrapped that up in there. That was amazing. We did one with Chinese food. We did one with Mexican food. We did one with sliced Italian sausage and jardiniere sauce, or jardiniere, which is, I think it might only be in Chicago. It's just hot sauce and oil. We did another one with just all cheese, which was a mess, but it was fucking delicious. So we do that. It's the kind of thing you can only do about once a month or you'll die, because it's so, even by our standards, it's so fatty that like when you swallow, you can feel your body just going, not again! So long history with the bacon explosions. When I go places, people are like, hey man, did you make a bacon explosion? So it's kind of what we do now. It's expected. So if you haven't done it, for any of the listeners, if you have not made a bacon explosion yet, do it. Google it. You can customize it any way you want. It's fucking awesome, and it tastes great. And that's how you separate the men from the boys, because if anyone's like, oh, I don't want to try that, you know that you can just kick them out of the party right then.
Yeah, see, that sounds fucking delicious. Like, what are some of the interesting things you've done with bacon, Steve?
I've done a few things. We had a bacon. It was called the Pig and Swig. It was a little house party that we had last year, and let's see, I think I did a little horseradish bacon dip that was pretty good. Nice kind of wake up your palate, kind of get you in the mood for some more bacon. And we had some bacon mac and cheese from hell from the boys in Atkin. I think that was Vic. We had some maple bacon donuts. And what else do we have? Oh, we had a great pulled pork with bacon and maple. So it was just like you slopped them on like a little sloppy Joe, and had this nice little salty crunch to them. So in the months of that juicy pulled pork, so that was pretty good. But for the most part, I just try to get I get the thick cut bacon and just don't mess with it. I just love the taste of pure bacon. It's just you don't need much because bacon's already delicious. But it is fun to doctor up meals with it.
What's your opinion on the? You can get. I think it's Hormel or something, but it's like real bacon that's already chopped up in like tiny little crumbles or bits or whatever.
The pork belly.
It's what?
Pork belly.
No, it just says real bacon.
Oh, okay.
It just says real bacon. It's just like chopped up, but you can buy it not refrigerated.
Oh,
and you have to refrigerate it once you open it.
I tried it once. I wasn't that impressed. Boar's Head makes a bacon strip that is bacon that is already cooked that you just heat up for like 15 seconds.
Right.
It's like fucking lazy.
And those are pretty good, but you do pay like twice because Boar's Head.
Is it that hard to fucking cook bacon?
No, but every once in a while, if I want to just add it to a sandwich or at lunch or something, I don't feel like making a fucking mess. And to be quite honest, until last year, I didn't know about making bacon in the oven. So,
the other day I was making sandwiches and I thought, you know what, I want the Xander tea that they serve here at the Vicious Pig, and so I had everything ready and I'm like, fuck it, and I waited and I cooked that bacon because I needed it on there. I was like, it's worth the wait, I think. Something that delicious.
Hey, you guys ever go to like those like charbroil burger spots that have like the whole thing full of bacon that they've cooked throughout the morning just so they can slap it on like BLTs and whatnot?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I've always thought about just having one of those on deck at home, dude. How great would that be, It's like one day, like Friday is Bacon Friday. Everything is getting eaten with bacon.
Every kitchen I've worked in has those, and it's the worst thing as the server to be, not busy and standing there on the line, and you've got like 10 pounds of bacon already cooked, just sitting there, hanging out, waiting for somebody to order a cheeseburger.
You instantly know what a dog feels like when a dog's sitting next to your table.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes.
Perfect. Yes.
Just sit there, and you try to give the chef kind of puppy dog eyes, can I? It's cool if I get one, just one, right? It's cool. No, come on, just one.
That's Kevin Wells relating us to dogs.
Well, and
Speaking of dogs, have you ever had dog bacon?
No.
Oh, no, he didn't have dog. It was duck bacon that Brian had. Duck bacon.
That's right. Yeah, which we've discussed before about bacon being pig, but I mean duck fat's awesome, Brian.
I tried duck bacon for the first time, and I'd gotten a text earlier in the day from my girlfriend Sheena, aka the Hotness. It was just a picture of a pack of said duck bacon, and it's just duck breast that's sliced and cured, similar to bacon. And so I immediately got a boner. Got home, and we cooked it up that night, and it's very different. Obviously, duck tastes different from pork, but it's cured in the same way. It is it's weird because it's way greasier. Just like if you've ever cooked a duck breast, grilled or anything like that, it's way greasier, but the fat content is actually lower. So it's a little bit, it's counterintuitive in that way. But I took Xander's advice and I saved that duck bacon and we mixed it in a few things. It's really good. So if you have not tried duck bacon, you should be able to. You might have to search a little bit harder. You might have to find a Whole Foods or something like that. It is worth it. It's really good. It's generally thicker than regular bacon. So it's firmer. You don't get that bendy, greasy crap. You can crisp it up, and it's good. It's really sweet, really smoky, and it doesn't have. And look, I'm a guy who loves fat. I love it, but sometimes if you get a strip of bacon and it's just like one big thing of gristle, it can be a little rough. The duck bacon doesn't really have any long veins of fat in it. It's just all meat. So rush out and get some. We took some duck breasts, wrapped it in duck bacon, and grilled them like that, and our lives have not been the same. Like, everything we've done after that has been post-duck breast wrapped in duck bacon. Like, we live in that world now. Our perspective is totally different. So, go out, try it. It's spring. Get the grills going. There's no excuse. Yeah.
I looked it up. It was like $20, I think. Not to mention the only store near me that carries it is like an hour and a half away.
Oh, wow.
And so either to order it on the internet or to drive to West Palm and go get it didn't really, so I haven't done it yet.
I made those braided, the bacon braids.
Why don't you tell us about that after we come back?
Hey, that's a good idea. I forgot that we have another segment, don't we?
We do. Bacon takes a long time to talk about, so
yes,
got to give it proper due. Praise the Lord!
Like our pizza episode that we will do someday.
All right, who's got a song?
Ooh, I do. It's a good one.
Go for it.
Take it away.
Let's see if it's on. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. I'm actually just looking for. Oh, here it is. Pennywise with Psycho '89. Let's get it going.
Beat up prospect, you don't even have one. As for argument be a point, here's the one your life has. But with a summer gas, there is no use for you. Absolute amoeba, walking time bomb. I managed to the fan, I put his fingers in a time in the bush. An ugly warthog, a CNN patrol. Get on the arm, some psycho slut. I see a sentence growing. Seems to me that some more life is passing you by. Try to escape. There's no elevation to the grave, it's also obsolete against innovation. Try to escape. There's no elevation of a harm you're about to others within your own condemnation. Such a bad scene. You wasn't time for working with that attendance on a baby. You were not hostility. But does the rank step from epitome of a scum psycho slut? I see your senses growing. Seems to me that your life is passing you by. Try to escape. There's no elevation to the grave, it's also obsolete against innovation. Try to escape. There's no elevation of a harm you brought to others within your own condemnation. are gone back where you came from. Hostility. Where does your anger stem from? Epitome of a scum, psycho slut. Like CSX is growing. Seems to me that your toy life is passing you by. Try to escape! Try to escape! Try to escape! Psycho 89! Let me introduce you to our dumb little band. You might find it hard to understand. We got a show, even though we know what's gonna go. We'll take a second and march to stack some little nuts. We're paying for it with the dumb little jobs. The guy at the bar says he thinks we're okay. We kind of remind him of pre-K. But it's a dumb little band, and there's not much to say. Maybe we'll see you when we play in some big empty room one day. We do a record every year that nobody's gonna hear or understand. A dumb little band. Every year we self-destruct a bit. We break up when the drummer quits. We talk about what to do and when we're showing that the bass player quits and we break up again. We don't know how to be regular guys or what to do with our dumb little lives. We don't have anything to prove. We'll be in trouble if we ever do. Cause it's a dumb little band, but we travel through the land. We unpack all our stuff from our dumb little van. We play some songs and then we pack it up again, hand in hand. A dumb little band, a dumb little band, a dumb little band. Not exactly in demand. Our friends are all busy with their own affairs, becoming punk rock millionaires. They're tripping their love album at the Hollywood Bowl. We're taking our flight to the telephone pole. Yeah, dumb little band, and nobody knows why we keep having shows, even though nobody goes. We keep rolling along, playing our dumb little songs, hand in hand. A dumb little band, a dumb little band, a dumb little band. All right, that was "Dumb Little Band" by Mr. T Experience. You're listening to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. We are talking bacon, and we were talking about some weird things that we've done with bacon. And I've recently posted a few times because it's that good; it needs to be shared more than once. A braided bacon, which obviously there's 3 pieces of bacon braided together, and then I bake it in the oven on a rack. And then I brush it with, I mix together some honey and sriracha and brush that on throughout the baking process. And it comes out fucking delicious. So I did it the one time just to try it. And so then the next time I did it, I used it as a garnish in my Bloody Mary. And usually when I do Bloody Marys, I like to have the celery because I like the cold crunch of that celery that's been sitting in the ice. So I was a little weary about it, but when I did bite into the bacon, it had that spice of the sriracha and then that tomato juice. It actually tasted, yeah, you and your tomato juice. It actually tasted like I was eating some fucking barbecue. It was almost like a barbecue sauce. It was so good. And it didn't add any like bacon flavor to the drink, obviously, because it was pretty thoroughly cooked and glazed with sriracha, but I have seen some weird fucking like bacon drinks. Like I worked at a bar, we had a maple bacon like schnapps or something, and I think they just put bacon on it because it was really just more maple.
Yeah.
But I know, like, you know, people make drinks with bacon. I mean, I've got my sizzling pork belly, which uses it as a garnish.
Well, there's Rogue Brewery in Portland, or I don't know if it's not in Portland. They have a place. I don't know. Is it in Portland? I don't know.
It's in Oregon, but it's not Portland. I don't think it's in Portland.
But they have a brewery up there. But they also have a brewery in San Francisco that not actually brews it, but like it's like kind of like a little restaurant. Italian, you get like all the Rogue beers there. But I went there with my brother, one in San Francisco, and we saw like that on the wall they had like a maple bacon bottle. It was like a pink bottle, like a pink 24. And that's like the first thing that kind of tipped you off, like, oh, what the hell is that bottle? And he brought it over, and we saw it, we're like, holy shit, can we try this? And the guy's like, well, we have a bunch of cases that we just got in, but we can't really sell them. And my brother's like, all right, that sounds good, so don't tell your boss, but what if we pay you directly, and me and my brother just go in the back and grab a couple bottles? And the guy's like, tell you what, I can't agree to that, but I'm going to go downstairs for a while. I'll be down there for about 10 minutes, and then I'm going to be coming back up here, so, So my brother's like, okay, it's kind of like a little wink and a nod type of thing. And we go back there, we grab, I think we grabbed 3 22s each, and
Jesus,
and shoved them into our pants. Well, we gave him a bunch of money. Like, it was well worth it.
Like $3?
No. Dude, it was totally worth it, dude. But, so we took them home, and we were obviously excited. We were walking home, and we're like, fuck it, we're going to drink this now. And they're warm. They're just sitting there in the back of the box. So we drank it warm, and it was pretty brutal. We were like, wow, this just completely did not live up to our expectations. And
only thing worse than warm beer is no beer.
Exactly. Although no beer would have been good in lieu of this. But obviously we put it in the fridge, and the next day drank it. It's like, oh fuck, it was so good. And like I was thoroughly impressed, especially after the night before where we thought it tasted like fucking dog shit.
Is that that Voodoo Donut?
Yeah, it's pretty much a collaboration with them.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that at my local store. I get my good shit at.
Voodoo Donut's a donut shop in Oregon. It's like really famous, like a line out of the place for like hours at a time.
So
right.
Yeah.
So I lived in Portland, and when I first moved up there, and the office that I was working at was, I don't know, like 2 minutes from Voodoo Donuts, like a 2-minute drive from Voodoo Donuts. So I go there, and like someone told me I should try the maple bacon donut. I'm like, I don't know, I really don't like maple donuts all that much. And they're like, dude, just give it a shot. So I got it, and they're like a group of us. We all got like 5 or 6 of us all got them, and we're all sitting there eating them, and I was fucking blown away. I was like, holy shit! I never believed in God until the moment after I took that fucking first bite. I was like, this is God. I can feel this. It's real. Yeah, they're like little, like, you could hear like the angels. There's like a little light shining through the window right on that donut. And it was just a fun.
Their wings were made out of bacon.
It was the greatest thing ever. Yeah.
The only place I've been to that made those was actually the place I worked at in Colorado that made them, and they were gluten-free. Even so, they were still, gluten-free.
Oh.
But not gluten-free.
Yeah, no, definitely not, because I would eat, when there were leftovers, I would eat more than one. But, so those were really, really good. I can only imagine if they were, like, super, super good and full of gluten.
I saw another one online. I haven't eaten it, but it's in San Francisco. It's a round donut that they mix bacon chunks into the batter of the actual donut, and then they put maple on the top, and then sprinkle more bacon on top of that.
Well, I made French bread, and I put bacon chunks in with the flour mixture, and then made the loaves of French bread, cut the slices, and let them sit out overnight. And then the next morning, I made French toast with it. And so, the bacon inside the bread already, and just dipped it in the egg batter, fried it up, and then just threw some maple syrup on it. It was everything in one little piece of bread.
I remember that
awesome.
post, and I can't remember. There was some dude who was like, his mind was blown. He's like, how did you get the bacon into the bread? I was like, fucking really? I mean, you fucking cut a slice, you dickhead. What the fuck? I can't remember who it was. God, that just blew me away. Like, what? What are you talking about? Really?
That's an ancient asshole secret.
Didn't you make the bacon marshmallows too?
Yes, I did. Yeah, the maple bacon marshmallows, which I didn't realize how simple making marshmallows can be. And then I just added maple syrup and the chopped up bacon to it, and then you just got to let it sit and get firm with the gelatin. And those were good. Those were really good when you toasted them because all that sugar and the maple just cooked, and you had that bacon flavor. Again, more maple flavor than bacon.
Why it was good?
Right, I know, right.
The maple bacon
Yeah.
marshmallow
It was-
kind of explained why.
It was-
I'm already making them the next time I go camping.
It was so
Drifted off
good.
there. Did you see that? He drifted off. He's like, "Oh my god, just reliving the dates."
It was so good. Bacon.
More towels. More towels over here, please.
I actually am making pork chops for dinner tonight. I have them in the mojo sauce, marinating. And when I was thinking, before I came out tonight, I looked in the fridge and went, "Oh look, I have a pound of bacon in there too."
Excellent.
So
Now I'm trying to think. I got it. Bacon.
I went the other way, Xander. I made s'mores, but I put the bacon in the chocolate, and that was really good. Because it just
Nice.
salty bursts of, because we did it thick bacon, and we cut it up pretty coarsely, not like, so there was nice big chunks in the chocolate. It was phenomenal. I can never eat s'mores the same way again. It's like like that Wham song, "Guilty Feet, I Got No Rhythm." I can't do it.
What if we combined Xander's marshmallows with Steve's chocolate?
Go.
I mean, call me a genius, but yeah, I'm a genius.
We can make bacon graham crackers probably
Yeah,
too.
that's all that's the component that's left, and boom.
Oh, you take the bacon seasoning that Skate Rat's got, add that, spray a little some quick liquid on the graham cracker.
Bacon grease.
And then you got to make bacon spears to work as a little.
And afterwards, wrap it in bacon, and then
Yeah.
And then fry that motherfucker.
we call it the Good Morning Burger.
Bacon.
The 420 burger.
Bacon. Even Pink Vicious across the saloon is getting hungry over there. I see you, Pink. Cheers,
Well,
buddy.
and I feel it's appropriate that last week, we touched on bacon and turkey bacon and stuff like that, and and now bacon, like real bacon, gets its own segment.
Well, it needs its own whole show. We can't,
I mean, really, it needs
Yeah.
its own season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it won't be the last time.
Bacon season 1, episode 4.
In the first book of bacon.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. I'm saying, I'm looking at the clock and I see, we're kind of running a little short on time here in this segment, but I've got easily another half an hour of different bacon things I can talk about. So we're definitely going to have to do a part 2, eventually.
I made the bacon pancakes.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, just like Adventure Time, making bacon pancakes. Man.
Those gotta be
I-
delicious after a night at the pig.
Oh. Especially, the breakfast food after drinking. We discussed that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but drinking at the pig is a whole different ballgame.
I swear they
It's a hang at
slip.
the pig.
I swear they slip some liquor into your beer every time you order a new one. It's got to be the reason.
It's really a Pabst Walker.
Yeah. Oh.
Blue Label Pabst Walker.
I'll take the Johnny
Some
P.
of, some of the many drink specials here at the Pig Vicious Saloon.
Yep. Oh.
We'll be right back on Punk Rock Foodies Radio. This is Anti-Flag Bacon.
Bacon!
Bacon!
Bacon.
No, we don't need the fucking cops. Not when they're up to no good, not when they're playing bully. No, we don't need the fucking cops. Not when they're acting a thug, not when they're lying through the tape. No, we don't need the fucking cops. Not when they're on the wrong side, beating down on people on the picket line, doing the bidding of the rich elite to build the corporate state. Because you know it just takes one wrong look and you find yourself in traction. From a joke and a fist in a club and a boot in the face. Because you know it just takes one
Welcome back to Punk Rock Foodies Radio. Right now we've got a special guest, Pat Thedick, drummer for the punk band Anti-Flag. You guys have a new record called American Spring. It's set for May release. Why did you guys call the record American Spring?
So American Spring is a reference to the Arab Spring, which was late 2010, actually up until today still. The revolutions that came out of that are still in progress. And we were talking about revolution and how does revolution work and when does it work and when it doesn't work, and then the idea of a American revolution and change in the U.S. and how would that look. And what we came to is that the revolution that comes out of violence never works because institutions are always willing to be more violent than the population. But so we gave some of those ideas to Doug Dean, a local artist and designer, and he came back with the record cover with the archetypal images with the flowers over their faces. And so that was interesting to us. And then we showed the front cover to one of our friends who just happened to be in the studio one day, and he's in a practice space, and he said, "Ooh, that's provocative." And we're like, "Yeah, what do you think of it?" He's like, "Yeah, it's okay." And then we showed him the back cover of the American Soldier. He's like, "Oh, you can't do that." And then for us, that's exactly what we're going to do, because if it has that reaction to people, then that is important, and it brings out the idea of what is acceptable violence, what is violence, and then is when, depending on which one of those images you identify with, you are accepting of violence in one direction but not in other directions, and it really gets an interesting dialogue going, which is always good for me.
You guys were involved in the Occupy movement, and it seems like the businesses and government entities that would be affected by a protest in America, it seems like they could wait them out longer than any of the protesters can really afford to keep protesting for.
That is a problem, yes. But go ahead. I'm sorry, I want to agree with you.
I was just going to say, do you feel that, because you mentioned that violence doesn't work, but do you feel that violent protests can still work in today's society?
I think it can. But I think it needs to have support. It needs to have broad support. It can't just be some kids and amazing kids, well-intentioned kids. I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. Right. But it can't just be young people. It has to be a larger coalition of people who want change. And it takes a lot of time, because in the U.S. in the 1920s, we had a lot of workers' movements and things like that, where the rest of the population didn't get involved. But the workers' movements were able to bring in immigrants and bring in different groups, and enough of an impact to get some, working reform in place. But yeah, it's you are correct. Companies with deep pockets and politicians always are going to have more power. But as you look at India with Gandhi and situations like that, where they took on the British Empire and they were willing to wait it out, because when you're dealing with an empire, they're coming from somewhere else. It's your home. When you're dealing with your own government, it's a little bit harder, but it's still a possibility. It's definitely. And if you start throwing rocks, they start shooting tear gas. You start having bombs, they start shooting automatic weapons, tanks, and it just escalates very quickly, and the people always lose. Right.
Now, have any of you guys considered running for political office, either at the smaller local level or larger levels?
We have never thought about running for political office ourselves, because we have a lot of skeletons in our closet. Would not be good for that. But I would love to get a young person and put them up for office, and because one thing that we've learned is that local office, you only need a couple 100,000 people to elect a local a person in local office that we really don't need, because so few people vote in those elections, that if you had a really charismatic young person, and the one thing that we've learned from the Arab Spring is that through young people's skill with technology, they were able to organize much better than the power establishment was. And I think that it would be really fun to run a young gay, lesbian, activist kid for political office, and just be able to get enough people that, even though the establishment was really afraid of them, but if you could get enough people to get on board, it wouldn't take that many to get them into office, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
The new record's on Spine Farm Records. How did you guys end up going with Spine Farm on this one?
Spine Farm actually reached out to our friend who was helping us, or is helping us with the record company side of things, and they are in the process of revamping themselves, and we're looking to do some really cool and interesting stuff. And we thought, we haven't ever worked with a label in this type of record label, and they were excited and really had a lot of energy, and so we were like, yeah, let's give it a shot. So the good thing about us and all record companies is that this is a bit of an overstatement, but I see customs agents, police officers, landlords, and record companies all the same sort of category. And I have a record company, so I'm not saying that I'm any better than anybody else. It's just that they are things that are necessary, but aren't necessarily, you don't want to really have much control of your life.
Right.
And so, yeah, we have a record company, and we are just as superfluous as any other record company out there. The band is the one who drives everything, and the record company just tries to get your stuff into the stores and make it so people know that it's out there.
Right. Now, you've got some pretty big guests on the record, from Tim Armstrong to Tom Morello. Were those songs written with them in mind as guests, or did you add them in after the fact?
No. We wrote them without any hope of the guests, and with Tom, we have a working relationship with Tom, that we've been working with him for a while, and we thought, wow, this would be an awesome song for Tom Morello's guitar solo, and he was like, okay, I'll do that. So we sent it off to him, and he put that on. And then with Brendan Burkett, we just thought we really thought it was a great song, and we were really excited about the song, and we thought, well, it's sort of clashy, sort of rancid-y, sort of that era of punk rock. And we'd been talking to Tim a little bit about some other things. We said, why don't we get Tim and see if he wants to sing on it? And we pitched it to him, and he said, yeah, that'd be great. So he came over and did the vocals for us, and it was really awesome that he was willing to do it, and that he said he really likes the song as well. So
nice.
I think it's a great fit. His performance is great.
Awesome. Now let's get into some food here. What made you become a vegan and then ultimately, or a vegetarian and then ultimately a vegan?
Well, I became vegetarian when I was really young, and I decided that I couldn't go through life that was causing suffering of other things all the time. Now, as you become more educated, you realize that just your existence, being alive, is causing suffering of all things. But so I could kill myself, which would be helpful to most people. But the reality is that with animals, I felt that it wasn't. I could survive perfectly fine without other things having to die. So that was my idea the realization that I came to when I was 15, 16 years old. And then as I became more aware of these things, when I was at home, my parents said, well, you either eat this or you're not eating anything else. So as soon as I got out on my own, when I was like 17 years old, I decided to become full-fledged vegetarian. And then about 10, 15 years ago, when I first became vegetarian, it was very difficult to be vegan, and the people who were vegan were really snotty, and they didn't connect with me.
Right.
And then as I became more educated, I realized that it's not that difficult to be vegan. I was almost already vegan, so I went vegan, and for me, it's very easy. For the people around me, it's a bit of a challenge, but
why is that?
But yeah, well, for some reason, when you're vegan, everybody is frustrated about it. I don't know why. Because I do know why. When you go to family, like my girlfriend, you go to family functions, and her parents don't understand what vegan is, and then they have to make food, and I'm like, well, I'll do my own food, it's okay, and that throws a monkey wrench into the cultural fabric of everything. But my family has accepted. They're just like, oh, don't make anything for Pat because he'll just bring his own food. And I'm like, yeah, it's perfect. That's great. And again, my DIY vision of the world is that I don't need anybody else to take care of me. I'll do it all. I'll deal with it all myself.
Yeah.
So that all fits in with my broader view of the world. But so being a vegan is really easy for me. The only time that it's a challenge is if I'm traveling in places that are real, like Hong Kong and Japan were a challenge when we didn't have handlers around.
Gotcha.
When you're traveling with a band, usually they have somebody who can say, "Oh, you're vegan. This is these are the things you eat."
Right.
But it's tough to communicate that. But I remember when we were, and I'm going off on tangents, I apologize. But I remember when we were really young and we went into Canada, and you wouldn't think that Canada would be like this, but in the mid-'90s in Canada, we said we wanted a vegetarian pizza. They said, well, so you want just pepperoni? And we're like, no. We're like, why would you eat pizza without pepperoni? And I'm like, because I don't want to eat the meat. And they're like, so things have definitely changed in the last 20 years.
Yeah. What made you want to open your own restaurant?
Well, the restaurant is for me, it's much like the record company. I have a friend, his name's Keith Fuller, he's the chef, and he is amazingly talented and incredibly passionate about food and makes beautiful food. And he said, do you want to open a restaurant? And I said, I don't know anything about restaurants, but I know about artists and helping artists create their dreams, and which sounds a little hippie bullshit, but artists try to create their vision of what they want.
Right. And
so that's how I see the restaurant, not as me being an owner, but sort of me being a facilitator of a incredibly talented chef who wants to create something awesome. Yeah, so that's where. So in my mind, I would love to have, much like a record company has many different artists, I would like to have many different restaurants with many different chefs that would be, that each of them would be doing their thing, and the job would be to help them facilitate through the things that we've learned in on the other projects. Mm. However, restaurants are much more expensive than records are. Right. And so that was a bit of that's where the analogy sort of breaks down, because to put out a record is expensive, but it's not nearly as expensive as opening up a restaurant.
Right. I was looking at the menu, and I was surprised to find that it was, like, they had some vegan or vegetarian options, but a lot of it was, carnivorous food.
Yeah, absolutely. Keith is, his vision of activism is different than my vision of the world. His idea is that if you're going to kill the animal, you should use everything about it. And he really likes the feet and the tails and the noses and the brain and all the things that nobody wants to eat, that they throw away.
Right.
He feels as though that's his activism, to make that part of the food delicious and just as valuable as the other things, because you're going to kill the animal anyway, you might as well use it.
Right. Does it bother you that being involved with a restaurant that, I mean, obviously it doesn't bother you too much because you own it, but
well,
like, was there any conflict within you regarding that?
Well, yeah, there's always conflict because I'm straight edge as well, and I don't drink alcohol, but we serve alcohol at the restaurant, and but where I am with that is that people are going to enjoy this meal, and to have them enjoy this meal, they're going to drink wine. They're going to drink wine whether I think it's appropriate or not. So why not give them that opportunity? My vision of the world is not that I want to control other people. It's that I want that this is how it makes the most sense for me to live. Everybody else needs to be able to live the life that they choose. And if they want to do that, then whatever they want to do is fine with me. So there's a little bit of conflict there. I realize the hypocrisy of it for sure, but at the same time, it's Keith's vision of what he wants to create, and I want to help him achieve that goal.
Awesome. So what kind of touring is Anti-Flag going to be doing this year in support of the record?
Well, we just finished we did some interesting Terror State shows and just some weird one-off shows all over the place over the last couple months, and then so we were taking a bit of a downtime, and then we're going to be on tour basically the rest of the year supporting the new record. So we'll be all over the U.S. In May, and then we go to Europe for a bit. Then we come home, then we go back to Europe, then we go and do the U.S. again, and then we're looking at Australia or South America for next winter. So it's just going to be tour.
Gotcha.
Which is cool. That makes us happy.
Yeah.
That's where life makes the most sense, is when we're driving to a show and playing music.
Yep. Awesome. Well, Pat, that's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Brilliant. Thank you. I appreciate the questions. That was a lot of fun. And if we're in LA and you see that we're playing, please come out and say hello. I'd appreciate you just coming and saying hello.
Sounds good. I will.
All right. Brilliant. Thanks, Kevin. Have a good day.
Yep, you too. Thanks.
Bye.
All right, thanks to Kevin Wells, Steve Guerrero, Brian Reinhardt, Skate Rap Betty. Thanks to the crew here at the Vicious Pig Saloon. Always treating us nicely, taking care of us. If you're ever in downtown Mattersville, stop on by. Like you to check out Burning Rose Studios for all your studio needs and MRF Records. And check us out on Facebook, Punk Rock Foodies Facebook page. We are an open group. We have 3,000 members and counting. Come along and enjoy the ride. You get to see some really cool shit. So take care, everybody. Bone Ape Tip.
We ain't got no swing except for the rain and the crunch of thing. The ice is coming, the sun's zooming in. Meltdown expected, the wheat is good then. Engines stop running, but I have no fear, 'cause London is drowning. I live by the river to the imitation zone. Forget it, brother, you can go it alone. London calling to the zombies of death. Quit holding out and draw another breath. London calling, and I don't wanna shout, but while we were talking, I saw you nodding out. London calling, see we ain't got no hide, except for that one with the yellowy eyes. The ice age is coming, the sun's zooming in, engines stop running, the wheat is going thick, a nuclear error, but I have no fear, 'cause London is drowning. I live by the river